and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by GhostBed.com.
Today's show is brought to you by Postmates. Postmates is giving our listeners $100 of free delivery credit for your first 7 days. To start your free deliveries, download the app and use the code Nooners for $100 of free delivery at Postmates. Welcome to the show, Jabes. I feel so fancy with Postmates on.
I know.
Top of the show. I feel like a real live human.
Yeah, it really legitimizes us for sure.
It does. It absolutely does. Can you hear that twitch? Is it not in the audio at least? Yeah, I can hear it. I got a little in my ears, so you know.
A twitch?
Yeah, a little twitch.
Noise
having
gate on?
some tech difficulties.
Try not to hit the mic.
No
Ross.
bigs. No bigs.
No bigs. It's gonna happen.
It's what's gonna happen, James. I don't need them. You know
we
what I'm
may
saying?
have blown our equipment on the 4-hour show yesterday, but I'm not sure. It heats up a little bit.
It
you know,
could be the government tapping into us.
Sure.
Yesterday's show on Drinking Bros, we were live on air during all of this chaos. They put a two-author authentication on it. What do you call that?
Two-factor authentication
Two-factor,
on
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
On the show.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Giorgio, what do they say exactly when you logged in?
They said you had to be logged in and you had to be 18 years or over to view the content. Yeah, Ross, you see that tiny little cable, though, like right by your mic? I think that might be coming up, so just be careful about hitting that today. I'll take a look at that
it's
after the show.
not that. It's definitely this. But,
okay, yeah.
Either way, fighting through it today. We got half our office is out with COVID, so Giorgio's by himself today.
Killing it.
Nothing we can do today. I know it's this cable for sure, but whatever, man. Yesterday was so crazy being live on air during this. We decided to cover it just like everybody else was covering it. YouTube then decided to say, hey, man, you've got to be 18. This content is inappropriate. Or what? Why?
It was the same. You were going off a feed.
Yep. Same news as everybody else.
That was on a on a news source. So they get preemptively worried, right?
Yeah.
Anytime a normal person talks about stuff.
Yeah.
They need it to be their people.
Their people. Yeah. And with that, I get a ton of messages yesterday saying, hey, man, I don't know why I've got to do all of the things to watch this video. And it's just like, hey, we started a Patreon page. Is it Drinking Bros Podcast, the Patreon page?
Yeah, Drinking Bros Podcast on Patreon.
Yeah, maybe we'll put it up there so you can see it in its full glory. But I heard they maybe edited some things. Who knows? I don't know what's going on anymore. What I do know is what really happened at the Capitol yesterday. I actually know what happened, and I'm not surprised at all. I was during the live show yesterday because we had a guest on, and things really escalated. But on the drive home last night, when I really sat back and thought about it, I was like, oh, well, yeah, this was coming. Like, absolutely. Everything that happened yesterday was in the works for 4.5 years, and it finally boiled over, and the media got what they wanted, to be honest with you. When you go after someone and a group of people for 4.5 years, and, you keep putting the Civil War in the headline, when's the next Civil War coming? You got one yesterday, and then storming the Capitol and all that stuff. And today, the media, every single person, and last night, all of it, were so shocked. We can't understand the violence. What are you shocked about? There's been violence all summer. They've been burning down businesses, cars, restaurants. People have been shooting each other. Everybody's been getting fucked up all year. But now you're surprised about yesterday? Why? Because I guess it was the right that was inciting the violence yesterday for the first time. Now you're surprised? No, I'm not surprised at all. The only thing I'm surprised about is President Trump, I guess. He should have done the right thing and stepped in and said, hey, man, let's stop this right now and blah, 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 versus keep jamming the rigged election thing. I don't know if it was a rigged election. Everybody's got their own opinion on it or whatever. All I know is this. You can't prove it. And if they did steal the election, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. We say it all the time on Drinking Bros Sports. And, if they did steal it, God damn, it was a good steal then, because you couldn't find anything. The only way you probably could have done it was through those Dominion machines. And,
I guess it would be the same as Russia, right? Like if they used Russia, they did a good job.
Yes.
They couldn't find anything about it.
Absolutely.
So,
you should have stolen the election better then. That's my only, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the Confederate soldier debate and the flags and all that shit. It was like, well, you came in second in that one. You lost. So, yeah, you don't put up statues for second place finishers. You know what I'm saying? Like there is no statues outside of any stadiums in America of somebody who was like second. Just a nice, firm second who never won the championship. So that was the only thing I was, I guess, surprised about was like, hey, he should have come out and said, look, let's stop the violence. These aren't the people we are and blah, 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 blah. But it also depends on who you believe was actually in the building yesterday. Because you were the one who pointed this out to me. As we were going live, we had a guest live on air, and I wasn't seeing the footage as it was happening for the first part, maybe the first hour of it. And then we piped back in for the last 3 hours of it until the sun went down. But you were the one last night who was like, man, some of these people were wearing helmets and backpacks and all this shit look like Antifa guys, not necessarily
the ones
Trump supporters.
The ones outside, but I will say the people that got in and breached fit the mold.
Fit the mold, right?
Yeah.
So it depends on who you believe was actually in that building yesterday and what you thought their intentions were. I think the biggest takeaway from yesterday is we definitely shouldn't defund the police. I think that debate is out the window now.
Yeah, that's one thing I said this morning. Yeah, we were talking about this morning. Everyone was saying, we just want to know where the police were. There weren't enough. Why weren't there enough police?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think we're all done with that
Be
now.
sure to call for police when you need them.
Yeah.
And then completely not support them for the past however long, right? Mm-hmm. Everything was against them. Defund the police. They're bad people. And now you want them. And now you're wondering where they are. There's a couple takeaways that I took from yesterday, but I'll let you finish.
No, look, you can see the images of people inside the offices, Pelosi's office. That was a great one. That was a really great. Homeboy had his feet kicked up, just enjoying the day, and was just relaxing in Pelosi's office. AOC, all those guys. These are all your offices. So next time you say defund the police, everybody's just going to pop up that picture inside Pelosi's office and be like, you really want to do that? They were inside your office. And I think somebody said they took their computer yesterday. So we're going without cans. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
And the sound's good on y'all's end?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Then we're good.
Yeah, we'll go live today. Who cares? I don't need the headphones anymore. We're above the law today, baby. We're storming the fucking office.
Oh, no. That's what
We're storming this office today.
Don't peek it.
No, we are. Who cares? But, so the defund the police thing is out the window. We're all done. With that, I don't think there's any more arguments on that. I was surprised at how easily it was to overtake the Capitol.
I don't think they really thought it would happen.
No. But when you have like two guys out there, Yeah. It was pretty easy because like when we started and we got to the footage of it and I saw, what looked like maybe 200 or 300 people going into the Capitol building itself. And there was one cop there and he pulled out his baton. There was like he was getting ready to whack somebody, give him a nice poke with the old truncheon.
I did see some footage, and people were speculating this morning that the police maybe kind of let them.
I would too at that point though.
They haven't,
When
they
you-
haven't been supported. They haven't been,
Yeah.
all those people in there that they were supposed to be protecting were calling for to defund them. So is there some maybe little kernel of a couple of them being like, cool, we did all we could. What do you want us to do?
Yeah.
What do you want us to do? You don't have enough of us. You're not paying us enough. You don't support us. We're horrible people. We're shitty at our jobs. Like, there's only a few good ones. I guess you didn't have the good ones there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, but either way, I don't blame them. And I don't give a shit. If you have that many people, fuck it, let them go. Who cares? Me personally, I'm surprised they didn't burn down the fucking building.
Yeah.
What was to stop them from that? I guess
I don't think
at a
they
certain
wanted to
point-
burn down the building. I think I hope that the agenda was to, or from what I hear, the agenda was to stop this process of confirming Joe Biden and take another look at these people believing that there was corruption, right? So that's what they wanted. They wanted to stop them for the night. Mm-hmm. They didn't want them to come back and confirm, and they wanted to take another look. I do believe that's what their true intention was. Whether it was founded or unfounded, I don't get into the rigged or stolen or anything because I actually don't believe that. But I do believe that the cards were stacked. The cards are stacked against you when you have the media on your side, because that's where we all get our information.
Yeah.
And so when you have the media on your side, and you have celebrities and everyone on your TV and in social media calling you a racist redneck piece of shit, they have all the cards, right? So I don't actually believe it was stolen. I believe that they went with the lowest common denominator. They bullied people. They made them feel stupid and shitty about even being a Republican. And I think they got the actual votes that they wanted against Trump. I do actually believe that. But having said that, I think that they wanted to stop the process. I don't think they wanted to burn down the Capitol. I don't think they wanted to hurt anyone. I think they wanted to scare them, and they wanted to stop them, and they wanted to have their voices heard. Now, bad things happened, right?
Yeah.
And
some bad hombres in there, and that's the guy with the horns.
And it got
though, was
crazy,
the real
and
MVP.
it was like, yeah. And look, I go back and forth between like kind of laughing at images and what's up?
Okay.
I go back and forth between like kind of laughing at images and then being really upset, right? So it's like those guys are going to have some stories for their children, right? When all is said and done and whatever, or grandkids, they're going to be like, that was me in the horns.
Best selfie flex of all
Sitting
time.
I was in the Capitol.
I was in the Capitol once.
Dad, were you a politician? Grandpa, were you a politician? No, man. No.
Just chilling out for the day.
We did it.
Yeah. You remember Nancy Pelosi? Yeah, I got a pick in her office. Oh, you do? Shit.
Yeah.
How's that? Hey, do you know where they give the
It's bad, right? Because it's just sort of like what I'm just very confused, and it's all over the place. And again, I'm like a crazy person, like laughing and then crying and then like what's happening, and I don't know what to believe and whatever.
You know where they give the State of the Union address right there? I've got that podium. I own that now. It's in my house. It's in
I
my
have
garage.
a piece of it. You just broke a piece off. Like
No, the guy carried it out.
good for him.
Carried the whole thing out of the building, which was awesome.
Look.
I don't know where that is. I posted something on Drinking Bros Instagram this morning. There was a listing on eBay. Don't know if it's real, but it's hilarious either way. To me, again, for 4.5 years, the media stoked this fire of a civil war, and Republicans are bad, and no one. Look, Joe Biden comes on yesterday weeping that this isn't the country we are. Where was that all summer? They asked him at the first debate, do you condone the violence that's going on in all of these cities?
Yeah, and he wouldn't condemn it.
And he didn't, no. Neither of them did until they were forced to towards the end of the summer. And it was just like, all right, once the ratings and the polls started to dip for them, they were like, ah, shit, people hate violence? Well, fuck, I guess we'll make a statement now. And then everybody last night and today, I'm so appalled and the violence and everything else. Why weren't you appalled over the summer?
Yeah.
Why weren't you appalled in 2016? Every fucking celebrity, too. Alyssa Milano, Josh Brolin. Fuck you, Josh Brolin. Your bullshit yesterday. He posted on Instagram a picture. Oh, the state of Georgia. It's time for all of us to heal now. Oh, now that your guys won. Now that your guys fucking won, it's time for everyone to heal now. Same with Alyssa Milano. Can we all just get along? Can we all just heal now? Now that you guys won, now you want to fucking heal. Where was that in 2016? When there was all that violence, the same violence was there in the summer of 2016 as well. Where was all of that? The same protest after Trump got elected and all that shit. There was a bunch of violence. Everybody was fucking shit up. None of you called for anything to be healed. Oh, we got to heal now and love one another. Now? So, look, no. Yesterday is exactly what you wanted. Yesterday is exactly what happened. I'm not surprised by it. The media has been stoking this fire, and they're going to continue to do so. And don't think for a fucking second that this is over after yesterday. There was some people on like last night, like who's that dickhead? David Muir. God damn it, I fucking hate that guy. It's like the worst dramatic actor in an acting class who you get paired up with during a scene reading, and you're like, Christ, this guy's going to take it to another level that is so fucking hokey and like weepy that you're like, shit, I got to fucking do a scene with this guy today? Oh no, I can't believe what's happening to our fucking nation. Fuck you. You've been stoking it too, motherfucker. Like, so if you get in, now that the Democrats have the House, they've got the Senate, and they've got the presidency, they can enact whatever they want. So let's say, hypothetical, they start stacking the courts or something like that. I don't know if that's going to happen, and I'm certainly not a fucking fearmonger who's going to be like, oh, this is what's going to happen. I'm not. But let's, hypothetical, say they do. You put 4 judges in there and stack the courts and go 13 instead of 9 right now. Congratulations, you're going to have more violence in the streets over that. Like, you want to add Puerto Rico and D.C. as states and all that shit. There's going to be more violence over that. And then you're going to, since you own the media, you're going to be able to be like, oh my God, look at these assholes. Can you believe what they're doing? And it's like, you guys have been doing it for 4.5 years. The left's been doing it for 4.5 years. So I don't know. Not surprised. And to me, like last night with the guy with the fucking horns and the whole shit, like, might as well turn it into a comedy at that point, because the rest of the country, this is what we've been living under, and this is what the media is. All this shit is controlled by other people. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. They even shut down the president's account last night on both. Facebook for 24 hours, Twitter for 12 hours. You might not agree with his message, but it's still the president. And it's like, what if he did have something important to say? What if we were at war today? Would they turn back on his account? For real?
I think they'd probably just have Pence say.
But then you're reporting to what, Jack Dorsey?
No, I think they would just have Pence say something.
Would they?
If it was, yeah.
I don't even know what they would do at that point. And then on the other side, people were asking me about the woman who got shot yesterday and killed inside the Capitol building. I read that there was 4 dead. I don't know where the other 3 were.
Yeah, I don't know.
I read that story this morning too, and I was just like, I didn't hear about the other 3. I don't know what happened with that. But the woman who got shot and killed inside the Capitol, the right is saying she was a veteran, and this is 14 years, and this is sad. But look, I have to treat this the same way I treated the riots over the summer with like Jacob Blake and all this other fucking shit, with the cops shooting Jacob Blake, and everybody's like, oh my God, he was such a great man. No, he was going inside a car to fucking pull something.
Well, he resisted arrest. He resisted a taser.
Yes.
And he went into his car as the cops were chasing him, telling him to stop, and reached into his car for something.
And he was on charges of sexual assault. I didn't give a shit about that guy. Same way yesterday with this woman. Is it sad for her and her family? Yeah. She shouldn't have been in the fucking Capitol building, though. So, if you're treating it fairly on both sides, like, dude, you stormed the Capitol, chances are you're probably getting killed. I'm surprised more people weren't shot.
Yeah, but once again, with all the other stuff, I need to see what the facts are of that. Like, somebody has an eyewitness, somebody has a video of something. People on here are saying she was unarmed. I do believe that, but the police have guns and other people have guns, and we don't know what she was reaching for, what she was doing. I have no idea. I'm going to have to wait until I hear what it was.
Even if she was unarmed, right?
She is. She was, yeah.
Okay. Even if she was inside the fucking Capitol building with like a fucking mob of people. Like, It's dangerous. You do dangerous shit, that's what's going to happen. It's, again, you have to treat it the same way. You can't pick sides. Like I'm bitching about these fucking celebrities like Josh Brolin and those guys. You can't pick sides with the Black Lives Matter shit. If homeboy goes back to the car to get something, to try to, we don't know what it is. He was unarmed too. Some of these other people were unarmed during it, but their actions warranted like, hey, I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. Mm-hmm. That is unprecedented what happened yesterday. Nobody's stormed the Capitol. And, you have to look at it both the same way and treat them both the same way of like, if you do dumb shit in this world, there is a consequence to it. A lot of people were talking about it's a revolution yesterday. Oh, it's a revolution. This is the revolution. A real revolution? Like a real one.
Or a civil war.
Those are the consequences. People die during that. So if you were prepared to truly fight and take back the country, there's going to be some blood, man. It's tough. You can't treat either cases different, in my opinion. If you do the wrong thing and something dumb in this life, if you are unarmed or whatever it was, you can't treat them both differently and say, oh, you should have used rubber bullets, you should have used the other thing. Because you can look at both sides and say that. But to me, yesterday, both sides have been going at each other for 4.5 years, and that's what happened. Somebody's saying, William Heron saying, Ross, it's a public building owned by we the people. Yes, it is. But there is a ton of public buildings that are owned by people that you just can't storm. You're not allowed in there whenever you want. Like, that's not how it works. Technically, we own the fucking public libraries here. I'm not going to go in there at midnight, when the doors are locked or whatever. Like, can't go in there and do that. Like, that's not part of the rules, man. So, as all of this unfolded yesterday, and I sat there today and I looked at both sides and the media and all the shit and everything else, and it's like, man, no, we've been headed in this direction for 4.5 years, and then it culminated last night with the Capitol, and that was the grandiose moment of the last 4.5 years of fuckery of all of this shit. Should Trump have stoked it? No. But, whatever they've been doing to him look, going after him for 4.5 years with a fake impeachment and every goddamn thing, Kavanaugh, every single fucking thing, like, I'm sure he was fed up at the end of it too, and was just like, fuck this whole place. So I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's what a president should do, but it is what it is. It happened. It has been real fucking antagonistic on both sides for 4.5 years, and then what happened last night. The other part about it is again, I blame the media the most out of all of this shit. When I look at the media, I don't know what's real and what's fake anymore. So when I was watching this yesterday, I don't know who the real people were in there or not in there. I don't know if they were actually Trump supporters. I don't know if they were Antifa. I have no idea. And we'll never get an honest opinion on this. And as soon as it went out, it said pro-Trumpers, like every article is pro-Trumpers or whatever. But when I saw the people with the fucking helmets and the backpacks and all that shit, and the hats turned backwards, because a lot of people were asking me that yesterday. Like, hey, there's a lot of guys with MAGA hats turned backwards going into the building. That's not typical. No, it's not. But if you know the camera angles, shooting from behind, all of the press is always shooting from behind. You turn your hat around so you could see it going inside the building. Like, some of them seemed like they were professional or from an outside source. Some of them seemed like they were actual genuine Trump supporters. So I have no fucking idea. The guy with the horns, at least we were able to track down yesterday. Live on air.
And he was real.
Shout out to Giorgio. Yeah, that was a real guy who was doing a bunch of shit for the right. A bunch of movements and parades and whatever, all the other shit. I know you were sad and confused and disappointed and all that stuff yesterday.
I was, yeah. I mean, I had a romantic view of how this would end, as far as Trump's statement. In my mind, or in the movie, in my mind, he would have gotten up and said, love me or hate me. Voter turnout was in record numbers because of me, either because people hated me or loved me.
Yeah.
And I've opened all of your guys' eyes to politics, whereas before it was shut. there are moms in the suburbs that didn't even know who the Speaker of the House was, that is now paying attention to the world around them and asking questions about things that are happening in their company and in their country. And that is true, right? Like, there's more people now that are engaged in politics than ever before because of him. And I wanted him to just say, you're welcome. Go forward with your eyes open. Sorry it had to be this way. Good night, drop the mic. In my mind, in the movie of my mind, that's what it was. Like, tried to do all these things. Media was against me. You can say all of that. But you're paying attention now, right?
Yeah.
And good for you, and you guys all should. But it didn't happen that way, and it was a little bit losery and pathetic and whatever. But look, it was one last ditch effort from him. It didn't work, and that's basically it. And the same thing that we said in 2016, which was, okay, he won. Now you move forward, right? That's what we were telling everybody in 2016. We're saying now he's the president. He's sworn, it's like he got the votes and here we go. We're not going to get into hysterics, which they did in 2016 of he's going to take away abortion. He's going to close up my vagina. He's going to put the wall everywhere. He's going to kill everyone. Like, that's the way, you know what I mean? Because nothing had happened yet, but they were hysterical about what could happen. And I refuse to do that, right? So there's all these things that you're saying, sure, yes, it can happen. I don't know if it's going to. And even this storming the Capitol, everyone said it was going to. I didn't get worried about it until it did, right? You don't get hysterical about something until you actually see that it happens,
sure.
Right? There's that. And then, Ilaria Baldwin will do anything to get the heat off of her.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't want to forget about
I really
Ilaria
just don't want to
Baldwin
forget
today.
about her mostly.
Because I want to keep pushing that story to the forefront.
And lastly, I'm just going to say, like, my world has become very small from this, right? Of the corner of my street is the only thing that I can really worry about at this moment right now. Because like you said, you don't know, nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows what to believe. Nobody knows what's happening. So I really just have to stick to the facts of my life, which is like, I protested with laundry last night. I didn't do it.
Yep.
Things like that.
Yeah, these clothes are dirty.
Right?
These clothes are dirty
Stinky.
today. Yeah.
So these are things that I'm going to focus on right now, but not sure really what to say more.
For me, because a lot of people ask me, like, how do you get the country back now at this point, right? I don't think you can. I'll be super blunt about that. I'm not going to give you the positivity and hope speech today of like, oh man, we can all heal and get back together and everything's going to be great. And that was a really teachable moment last night and everything. No, I think it's fucked. And I think it's beyond repair at this point. And I really do blame the media for all of this, all of it. And they control everything. The media controls everything at this point, right? All of our social networks that we use, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all this shit. Like, I mean, I posted like a meme of like an EA sports game with the guy with the horns on it yesterday. Facebook deleted it. I mean, Instagram deleted it. Facebook deleted it. You can't do any, like, it's just the guy with the horns. There was no violence, no nothing. Like, it was a Call of Duty joke, nothing. Like, they control what you say and what you do and what you listen to and what you should think and everything else. It is definitely not going to change now. And everything that's going on with the Senate and the House and the presidency now that's taken back, whatever they do is going to be the greatest thing of all time. There will be no negative coverage anymore. So whatever narrative they want to spin and own, they're going to do it. Like, I mean, you look at Zuck. Let's start with him at Facebook. He owns Facebook. He owns WhatsApp. He owns Instagram, right? All of us use that shit every day. We do. We use it every single day, whether or not we like it or not.
Oh, sure.
And they're going to they're pulling shit down already of memes and jokes and things like that, like that they think is like, oh, hey, this goes against our community guidelines. Whose community? Whose community is it? And I get it's a fucking private company. But if you think that Biden and those guys are going to get in there and say, hey, man, these should be utilities, public utilities. No, that's not going to fucking happen. because they've won. They've won now, so that's it. Everything we're going to see in the press now is going to be, if there was God forbid, there was a protest on the day that Biden actually gets the, on the inauguration and all that shit, like, oh, the violence, look at all the violence. That's all you're going to get versus when you hear shit about that. Look, we'll go back to the CNN thing over the summer. It was a mostly peaceful protest. And the whole fucking town is burning.
Yeah.
Behind them, it's like, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get an honest thought from the media. You're not going to get anything. And then if you try to post something or try to do anything against whatever their beliefs are, you're fucked. So no, it's not going to get better. You don't have two sides of anything anymore. So it doesn't really matter. And now that they have all of it, all of the things, Hollywood included, everything, like, no, we're past repair. Unless there is some way to get in there and own a network or something, like, even then, shit, you take Fox and CNN, right? Hard right, hard left, like, that's where we are. There is no middle ground anymore. And if you're hoping for that, good luck to you. We are well past that point, and there isn't going to be that anymore. So, hopefully all these people that were elected, however they were elected, go in there and do what's best for the country, because if they don't, you're not going to hear about it from the press, the media, or anybody else. You'll have to tune into podcasts or independent media like this to actually get an opinion that's real and honest and genuine. And so somebody was like, hey, on the message boards right now, I was like, hey, Ross seems a little scatterbrained today. It's like, it's not that, man. It's so much to digest that there is no going back for me. Like, that's the only hard part. Yesterday wasn't a hard part. It was like, that's where we were headed. I didn't know where it was going to be. It happened to be in the Capitol. But I knew that's where we were headed at some point. Media wanted a civil war. They almost got it. It was super close yesterday. Somebody would have lit one match in that fucking building. That would have been it, probably. But there's a lot to digest, because I don't think there is a going back. I really don't. If you want people who can have a genuine conversation or look at news stories with kind of an even view, you're going to have to go to podcasts. That's it. It's not going to be the New York Times or the Post or anything else. I mean, the Washington Post is owned by Jeff Bezos. He owns Amazon. The fucking Jack Dorsey guy, the grown-up Peter Dinklage who owns Twitter, like, they're taking shit down left and right. Whatever they think goes against their guidelines. I don't know whose guidelines they are. That's it, man. And what's going to happen is the Parlors and the Rumbles and all the other shit, they're going to start building these far right ones. People are going to leave that. I'd be surprised if Trump's account on Twitter isn't deleted the second Biden gets sworn in. Facebook as well. I bet you they all get together and nuke him off those platforms. He'll probably go over to Parler. Everybody who's, a Trump supporter or loves Trump will go there. And then you'll be living in two different echo chambers of right versus left. And this is only going to get worse. It is not going to get better. I watched Hoda and is it Jenna Bush?
Their show, or was it Savannah?
Yeah, no, it was the two of them. You had just left the house, and I caught the first 5 minutes of it. And, Jenna's always weepy anyways, but she was like, that was the building where my grandfather was laid to rest and everything else. And this is so sacred and all this shit. And it's like, when I thought about it, I was like, not really. Has it been there forever? Yeah, it has. And that's the building where all the politicians go and do their fucking bullshit. But all the politicians are fucking full of shit. So it's like, all right, great. And that was the biggest thing that Trump exposed during all of this 4 years. And I think when you look back on it in 20, 30 years, and you're like, fuck. Remember that time that a non-politician got in there, a fucking reality star, got into the office, exposed what all of this was, and completely changed the country of like what you said, actually made people pay attention to their politicians and start holding them accountable and going out and voting locally and acting globally, or whatever the fuck it is you want to say.
Think globally, act locally.
Yeah. You're going to look at all this and be like, how important are these people? Like, for real. The people that we put on these pedestals, like Pelosi or fucking Mitch McConnell or Lindsey Graham or whatever. Even last night watching this, the Electoral College vote, that they had in there. Each one of them was allowed to have 5 people come up and give a 5-minute speech. Even that was a fucking grandstand from both sides of like, oh, well, we need to do this, or we're not this country, or, Matt Gaetz and all those guys got up there yesterday, and the left got up there, and we got to condemn Mitt Romney. And it was like, oh, God. It was like, I look at these fucking people yesterday.
Matt Gaetz stuck to his guns, just to be clear.
Yeah. Look, everyone stuck to their guns. They were completely on brand.
There was some people that changed after the...
But let me ask you this. Did they change, or are they up for re-election in 2 years?
I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look. I think it's like 14 that changed their mind, 12 or 14. I would have to look at each one of those. But I do think a couple of them got scared. Apparently it was a really scary moment for those.
When a guy with a Viking helmet breaks into your office and takes a selfie.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, you'd be scared by it,
there's that. And then there's, these old ladies and whatever that are being told to put on gas masks and being ushered into their room. And, it's scary. They don't usually have to deal with that kind of stuff. They see it on TV. They hear about it,
right.
Whatever. They don't have it coming into their office, as you say, where they do business and sign, bills and whatever, pass things through. All the things that they do, as you say, bullshit.
Yeah.
But it's actually, government
it's fucking
stuff.
bullshit.
But,
and these fucking hypocrites.
So I do think a couple of them got scared. I do.
I don't, you know what? I don't.
And they changed their mind, but I do think most of them stuck to their guns. Yeah.
I don't actually give a shit if they were scared. We voted you into office, right? You're going to fuck this up for the country. Everything you do, just looking back at all of it today. All of it. We're shutting down the country. We're gonna, your businesses are gonna close. We're not gonna give you $600. We're gonna give you $2,000. We're not gonna give you any money. We're not gonna fucking do this. You're depending on this shitty government. Meanwhile, you have a Nancy Pelosi who's out getting her fucking hair done, or Gavin Newsom going to a 5-star Michelin restaurant. Like, all of these people have been exposed as hypocrites, and you're just like, fuck them. Oh, you were scared yesterday? Good, you should be. You know who else is scared? The people who can't put food on their table. People's businesses are closed down. You don't give a fuck about them. So storming the Capitol yesterday and scaring those people, whatever, man. People are scared in real life at home, not in your fucking bullshit job in an old building that we say is important and stands for something. Does it stand for something anymore? Because it doesn't seem like it. And it hasn't for the last 4.5 years, to be honest with you. It's either my way and everybody else is fucked. Remember Pelosi ripping the speech? Live on TV for fucking 80 million people, the State of the Union address, just ripping it in half right behind Trump.
I mean, we're surely not comparing that to what happened.
No, but all of that adds up to what happened yesterday.
Sure.
And you have to look back at all of it and be like, oh, all right, cool. By her doing that, just look at the amount of votes. We'll just use those. You probably pissed off 75 million people who voted for Trump by doing that. Again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I expected it. I did expect all of that shit. So, yeah, if they were scared, so what? There's a lot of people that are scared at home because you're not doing the right fucking thing. These politicians aren't doing the right goddamn thing on both sides. So fuck them. I don't care. And whoever was on the boards and said, hey, man, that is a public-owned building and we are the people or whatever. Well, the people took it yesterday. So if the people that took it yesterday, who elected these fucking assholes in there, wanted to fucking stir up some shit, whatever. I don't have the same weepy opinion as everybody else today. I really don't. And watching these fucking people last night, again, the David Muirs and the Stephanopoulos and all these guys, oh, I can't believe this is happening. Yeah, you should. Yeah. You should take a look back at all the news stories you've reported for the last 4.5 years and the slant you've put on all of it. This is what you wanted. Now, last night was your Joker moment where it was just like, oh, the whole world's watching and pretending to greats. Who benefits from that? The news, the anchors. Those guys got to go live last night for
and be
6 hours.
They got to be right.
Yes.
And I think that disappoints me as well. They got to be right. All this hysterical stuff that they were saying happened, and that disappointed me.
Yeah.
And I'm saying protest, they should have been all at the Capitol. They all should have been there. More than that should have been there. Protesting. That's exactly what you do, right?
Yeah.
The other stuff, not so much, because then it makes them right and it makes them righteous, and they are entitled now, and they have everyone on their side. And you did that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, good job, Viking guy. It is funny.
And the rich politicians
But you
don't
gave
care.
him exactly
the politicians are still going to
what he
collect the same
wanted.
paycheck. I don't give a shit.
Right.
So what? You got to go in and have, whoever made clean your office today? Pelosi's got to get a new iMac. Ugh. You think she has that 5K? The Retina? Like, hey, man, it's exactly what you wanted. And last night, again, who benefits the most? The news, the media.
Right.
It was wall to wall last night on every single channel they broke in. You last night were trying to watch The Masked Singer, which I was disappointed in you for that.
No, I was trying to watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I go, give me something else, guys. Give me something else than Cory Booker giving me the wide-eyed, impassioned, and you impassioned that motherfucker even more.
Yeah.
You gave him all the fuel to do the thing that he always does. And I just, it was disappointing in a lot of ways. I feel like a mom should have come into the room and just been like, I don't care who started it. You motherfuckers need to stop. Nuh-uh, no fairsies.
Yeah.
They started it. It was a lot of that. And there's a lot of that, right? They started it. I didn't start it. They started it. They did it, blah, blah, blah. Who fucking cares? You're done. You're going to go to your room.
Yeah.
I'll spank you on the bottom. You're going to go to your room. Because we're done with this. That's the way I felt. And I wanted to answer some millionaire questions.
Yeah.
And who benefited the most, as I said, Ilaria. Nobody's fucking talking about that bitch anymore. And I'm disappointed, and I actually will not let it happen. I will talk about it every day until it comes to a head.
Yeah.
Until they storm her house.
Well.
Until Viking Hat Guy goes there and finds a picture of her as a child, because I cannot find one.
And demands
a photo album.
Some Goya beans, yeah. He raids her closet, grabs all the Goya beans.
The funniest part about all of this is that you don't know the difference between Mexican, Spanish, Portuguese.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Don't care whatsoever. I don't live in any of those places, so it's not my job. That's above my pay grade to know any other country besides this one.
Sure.
But in
people
all
are
sincerity,
giving us a lot of money too.
Levi B, he says this is for all the things, brother. It is, man, because again, I appreciate it, dude, for real. And everybody who was with us for that 4-hour show yesterday that's blocked, we'll put it up on Patreon, uninterrupted on Drinking Bros podcast. And I don't know what happened with that. Again, we were just covering it as any other place should. I guess because we had a different opinion of it yesterday. I'm not gonna say it was a sad day for whatever and blah blah blah. They've been stoking this fire for 4.5 years. The only thing again that I was surprised by on air yesterday that it was the Capitol. I thought maybe it would have happened somewhere else, but because I just think that you could get into the Capitol.
Well, that's what they were doing.
It was real easy. It was real easy.
Where else did you think it would be? That's where they were confirming him.
No. I just didn't think you could get into the building.
Oh.
Dude, Nicolas Cage got in there, but,
Dr. Fry or Dr. Fry, do you see a new political party forming in the U.S. with large support?
No.
$5, no.
No. I'll tell you why.
That's a bridge too far. I mean,
the new political party that everybody wants to talk about and hopes for, their hopes and dreams in this world for, oh my God, we need a third party, is not going to happen for many, many years. Maybe it will after, we die. I could see it happening. I'll scratch that. I can see it happening in maybe 40 or 50 years, but I won't be alive to see it. Because right now, you're in a hard right, hard left. For somebody to get in the middle, I think with everything that's going on in the media and politics and all this shit today, it's going to take somebody with heavy branding. As fucked up as it sounds, it would take a Kardashian. Somebody like that who has that amount of followers to go in there and actually fuck shit up. If you look at Trump won because of Twitter and everything, because of social media followers. And then they had buyer's remorse on that. Zuck and those guys. And
right.
Oh, shit. We shouldn't let them say all that. Or let them pay for the ads and all that other shit. I think it's going to take somebody with a massive brand Because otherwise these guys can't break through. We had, who was the third party candidates in this one? It was, we had the VP on Spike Cohen and what was her name?
Jorgensen.
Yes, Joe Jorgensen. But you see how difficult that was for me to remember? And I had the VP candidate on the show.
And your memory is...
Guys, you probably shouldn't tell Dan to go to this.
What's that?
You probably shouldn't tell Dan to go to this.
I don't
the
get like,
American Party. Well,
hey
go
man,
at
keep
it.
dreaming.
Keep going.
Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching
It
for the
would
stars.
be nice.
Yeah. Would it be nice? Yes.
Shit.
Yeah, it would be nice. Is it going to happen? No. I was promised fucking flying cars in 2020. I didn't get that shit.
Right. It's too loud.
Too
You're
loud. Turns out the FAA would
They
be
can't
like,
make
hey
a
man,
quiet
all of you need
drone,
a pilot's license. Like, no. So look, it's a fucking pipe dream. It's great to talk about, but to be completely honest, it's going to take somebody fucking rich, like with a heavy amount of branding. Even Bloomberg, look at what Bloomberg. That guy was the richest motherfucker there was. $5 billion. And that gimpy motherfucker got on that stage for the Democratic Party and got shredded by Elizabeth Warren, was out of the race after spending $1 billion. He was out in 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Gone.
He just got knocked out.
Gone.
Cold. Yeah.
That's a guy worth $5 billion who was actually the mayor of New York. And I'll say this, he was a pretty goddamn good mayor of New York.
Right.
Like, he really was. I lived there when he was there. Shit, I felt safe every night, walking down the streets, riding on the subways, all of it.
Sure.
So, you know, I don't know who it would be. Boy, I don't even have one person in the back of my mind for that. Because it would take a lot to break away. If you look at just the votes, there's 330 million people that live in the country. What did Biden get? 80, if you believe it. If you believe he got 80 million votes, right? That is roughly 1/3 of the country or a quarter of the country, right? Mm-hmm. And then Trump got, 75 million? You got to have a guy that's going to break in the third, or a woman, or a gal, or a trans, or whoever it is, a non-binary person get in there. Mm-hmm. That's going to get in the middle and try to get that many votes and pry those away from both parties? No fucking way. Not in my lifetime.
Right.
Not in my lifetime. Now, Kanye, if he ends up being with Jeffree Star, and that's real, maybe the two of them, their branding and social media.
Oh my gosh, and it would be gorgeous.
I don't even know who Jeffree Star is, by the way. But every time,
well, I don't want to out anyone without them coming out themselves, but I don't know.
Yeah, but every time that he posts something, it trends #1 on Twitter. So
he's a makeup artist, a YouTube makeup artist. Yeah,
that's all we need to do in this country is just work
it, girl. That is actually true. Go to work.
Go to work.
Why don't you just go to work? I'm going to do the laundry.
Yeah.
Take care of your fucking lawn.
Yeah. I'm not
calm down for a little bit.
And again, before we get to the sponsors, I'm not going to tell you things are going to get better because they're not. I'm not going to tell you I've got hope and positivity or whatever. No. I'm not even going to say I was that appalled by yesterday. No, the media was stoking that for 4.5 years. Like, I knew it was going to happen. I did not think they would be able to get inside the Capitol. Where was the security for that, man? Was there not an alarm or something? I've been to the thing. I wanted to sit on Lincoln's lap in the Lincoln Memorial. There's fucking guards there. I couldn't do it. Surprised they got in.
Right.
But yeah, and no, this is going to continue down this path. Now that the left has everything, the House, the Senate, the presidency, and all of the media, all of your social media apps, all of that stuff, it is not going to get any better. So, we all better fall in line.
Oh my gosh, you'll be so much happier, guys, I promise. Just fall in line.
Yeah, that's what they've always wanted.
That's what they want. John Wells.
John Wells says, Maxine said, confront Trump, canine and congressional supporters. So we decided to visit her at work. Much better than interrupting her dinner. And that's true, too. Like, what he's saying is true. There was so many people, politicians on the left, Maxine Waters and all those guys, who said, hey, man, we're not happy with the public officials. Find them. Go to their houses. Go to confront them wherever they are.
No.
Yes, they did.
No, I'm saying, don't do that.
No, I know, but that's what Maxine Waters said. Like,
right.
This has been going on for 4.5 years. So, that's what happened. Yes, what Maxine Waters was calling for on the right actually happened yesterday, too. So, it's on both sides, man.
I know. They started it. Nuh-uh. They started it.
Yes.
Mom.
Yeah.
He took my, I don't give a fuck. Stop.
But the biggest...
I don't care.
The biggest problem is now they won all of it, all of the things, and now they own the media as well. So I don't know what's going to happen, but it's not going to get better. Shit. You kidding me? It's not going to get better. Keep your guns, and then,
the only thing that's true is there's 4 years until another election.
Yeah, well, there's
Figure
2
it
years
out,
until the
guys.
next one, so,
Figure it out.
if you want to put people in the house that you took over yesterday, you have the opportunity to do that in 2 years.
Yeah.
And that Viking helmet, man, it was probably bad on my part not to wear one in today. I own one.
I know.
I
Hello.
know. Should have came in face paint. With a Viking
$5
helmet,
from
but,
Dr. Fry. Hey, could be worse. Look at our leader up here.
what could be worse? I guess so.
I don't know. Could be worse. Look at our leader up here.
I think he's talking about Papa G. He's a little worn out today.
Papa G. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you went hard yesterday for 4 hours, man. And that was...
and he drank, right? Did you drink?
Oh, I got real hammered off at McConaughey's.
And he
Did you really?
doesn't usually do that.
That's funny. I didn't see you. You usually don't drink.
He doesn't usually drink. So
Yeah.
that must have been a hard time for Mr.
And look, since it's not going to get better, you might as well get a ghost bed from ghostbed.com/drinking bros. Treat yourself. Treat yourself. Get yourself a nice mattress to lie down on and watch the world burn.
Or don't watch.
Yesterday, all I kept thinking was, I was like, man, I'm in the studio behind the desk while this is unfolding. I was like, I wish I was in my ghost bed. That adjustable base, you can just beep, go all the way up. I could have had a nice bird's eye view of that. And at ghostbed.com/drinking bros, everything is 30% off. That's the New Year's sale. Maybe they knew. Maybe they could see into the future, and they were like, man,
Let's give a
lot of people inside.
A
lot of people inside. The finest mattresses, sheets, pillows, and adjustable bases on the planet. And as always, they got a 36-month pay-as-you-go program. No interest at ghostbed.com/drinking bros. So get on it. Get yourself a mattress and watch the world burn. Next up, we got expressvpn.com/nooners. This is for all the nooners out there. Nooners.
It's for you guys.
It is. ExpressVPN. Look, a lot of people are signing up for VPNs yesterday.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
If expressvpn.com/nooners is really hip to the game, they'll post that picture of that dude in Pelosi's office on their website and be like, hey, man, this is why you should definitely have a VPN.
Yeah, because we found this guy super quick. But yeah, I mean, everyone should have a VPN.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I found that out recently because, I'm not very techie.
I'm not either.
I mean, a little bit, but not with like protecting. I actually want the advertisements.
Yeah.
So I want them to know what I'm looking for. But people put incognito mode. I guess people that know that on your computer.
I didn't even know what the fuck that was.
Right. But I mean, people in the know.
Yeah. I'm not a tech guy.
And so basically it just doesn't, anything that you look at doesn't save to your history on your computer, but your internet provider and everyone can still see everything you search for and every website you go to and everything. And they're selling that data, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever they're doing, you just don't want anyone to have it. So actually the only way to protect yourself from that is to get ExpressVPN.
Yeah.
And just download the app, just have it running, and you can look up whatever you want.
Yep.
And no one will know.
Pornography is what we're talking about, kids.
I mean, whatever you want. Whatever
Porn.
you want.
Maybe uncensored YouTube video. I don't. Who knows? Who knows what happened with that fucking thing yesterday? But it is important, man. As you saw yesterday, ExpressVPN /nooners is in there, and it doesn't matter what internet you have, Verizon or all that bullshit. It works with everything. You've got to have a VPN. I'm not even a tech guy. I just bought this goddamn thing a year ago, had it running, and that's it. I don't worry about it. I don't even know what incognito.
You don't worry about it anymore.
Yes,
yeah.
dude. ExpressVPN.com. That is EXPRESSVPN.com/Nooners. Last but not least, James, I've been drinking the shit out of this today.
You're going to get 3 months free with that, though.
Yes,
so
3 months free.
If you sign up for a year, you're getting 3 months free, which knocks it down to like basically nothing a month, and you don't even have to think about it.
Yes.
And yes, the next one we are excited about.
Well, I'm drinking the shit out of it today. It's Liquid IV.
We've talked about it.
Yeah.
Forever. You've stolen it from me.
Yes.
We've had it on Broettes. They now are like, you know what? Ross fucking really uses Liquid IV every single day.
Yeah.
So now we have our own promo code for Nooners.
25% off at Liquid IV. I'm drinking the shit out of this today because I'm not going to lie. We got rocked yesterday. That carried over into the evening because I was just like, all right, shit. Because you went to bed early last night. You were over the whole shit, rightfully so. But I stayed up and I was flipping through all the channels, watching everything, just slugging back drinks, which I don't typically do during a weekday like that, where I'm just like, I needed the Liquid IV today. I was just like, holy shit.
In
that was the
2021.
first thing I grabbed this morning when I woke up. I've been drinking this shit every day for like 2 or 3 years at this point.
Oh, yeah.
I've been screaming into the world, please just sponsor the fucking show.
Sponsor the show.
I drink the shit out of it. It double hydrates you like that. I've been drinking a pack of this every single morning for 3 years at this point. So I can't sell this product any better than that, man. It's the best.
Yeah, well, for 2021, we don't have resolutions, but we definitely want to we want to sleep more. We want to be more hydrated. We want to be healthier. All those fucking things.
Georgia, are you on this right now?
Yes. So
Boom.
Ross has been trying to drink one of these
a gallon of water
day.
Yeah. My doctor was like, hey, for stress and all that shit, cortisol, you got to drink a gallon of water. And I was like, I don't drink a gallon of water.
Dude, how hard is it to drink a gallon of water, right?
It's not that hard. I just don't like the taste of a full gallon of water. I put some Liquid IV in it and get on with my fucking life.
But then it's going to hydrate you 2 to 3 times more.
Correct.
So it's a double.
Best in the biz.
Not whammy, but you know what I mean. It makes it a lot easier.
They got a new strawberry flavor, which is awesome. You can get it at Costco. I used to get it at Costco. Problem is, if you go to Costco, you don't get 25% off. So
exactly. And it doesn't get just delivered to your house. Like, don't go to Costco.
No, dude.
Place
don't go to
is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
I mean, if you see it there, pick it up. That's fine. But if you want 25% off, you want it just sent to your door. The strawberry, it's an interesting flavor. Like, you're like, oh, strawberry cheesecake with like whipped cream. No, it really does taste good. And it tastes exactly like that. So I'm liking that one. I also like the watermelon. They're just, I don't know. They're refreshing.
Yeah, they are.
They're making me feel like it's summer, even though it's not.
They are.
But yeah, if you go to liquidiv.com and use code Nooners at checkout, that's 25%
off. We got some breaking news here.
Okay, we have
breaking
to
news.
the
Facebook.
Call to action. That's okay. What is it?
Go ahead.
What's the breaking news?
25% off.
Yeah.
Nooners. The breaking news is Facebook has banned Trump through Biden inauguration, maybe longer. So it has begun. Congratulations. Just they'll wipe out all of the people who say anything, and freedom of speech is dead, man. It's over. It's fucking over. Exactly what I just said for the last fucking hour. It is all over. That's crazy, man.
Is it?
Yes. It's the president of the United States. Banned. Crazy.
Yeah.
Huh. What if something happens? Well, fuck it. You know?
How did presidents get things out before?
They used to go live on air.
Oh, okay.
They wouldn't air. So he was going to give a speech on air yesterday. None of the networks would air it. So when the media is against everything and they want to push out their own narrative, where do you go? If I were Trump now, I'd go to Parler and I'd put the money into another type of Facebook-y thing. Because look, this is just happening right now, obviously. It's going to piss off like so many fucking people who, look, 75 million people voted for him. Sweet, you ban him on Facebook, people are going to fucking delete Facebook.
Yeah.
So you're going to force it again. This forces everyone into these fucking echo chambers. There's going to be a right version of Facebook created, and then you can go there, and you're stuck. It has begun. The purge has begun. So get ready. That's what everything's going to look like now. It's not getting better. Fuck you. For all these people, it's going to get better. I think it was the moment we needed to realize we'd all taken it too far. Now that your people have gotten in there, fuck you. It's not getting better. Not getting better at all. Chuck Schumer and all these guys are out there. We need to get his immediate removal from office now and all these. Oh, God. You're fucking 13 days away, you know? Let him take a couple more beautiful shits inside the White House. You know? Who cares? Who cares? I'm curious now as to what the transition is going to be, you know? Usually you show up, you shake the other person's hand and all that other shit. I wonder if Trump just leaves an upper decker in every toilet starting today, you know? Because I'm sure there's probably 13, 14 bathrooms in that place.
Oh, yeah.
In the White House.
Today.
Start dropping upper deckers in there, you know? Melania doesn't shit, obviously, because she's a lady.
No.
Ladies don't do that. But,
True.
You know, some of those Trump dumps, go down to McDonald's, dude, and just leave a nice, beautiful duker, like an upper decker in those. But, yeah, so if Facebook is doing this now, I would have to say Twitter is probably next, right? And then... yeah, I mean, shit. Because I joined Parler just to do it. Like, I just wanted to check out the app and everything. Last night alone, I didn't even say my username or anything on air. Nothing. I picked up 700 followers. I didn't even say my username. People were so pissed off, though, at Twitter that it was just like, even Parler was trending for a little bit before Twitter shut that down. I was just like, all right, shit. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, where do you get your news from at that point? Because who do you believe? Who do you believe personally? Let me ask you that.
Who do I believe?
Yeah. I don't think we've ever discussed this in real life or on the air. Do you believe in any one of these things or any newspaper anymore at all?
I just sort of look for the facts. And if you take emotion words out of it and you take all of this, you just have to look a little bit harder for your truths, right? That's all. Like, I think that partial truths are on Fox. I think partial truths are on NBC. I think partial truths are on Daily, the Daily, New York Times, all of these. Like, there is a base level, if you really look at it, and again, take the emotion words out of it, there are some facts that you can follow from there yourself. And that's kind of what I do. And I don't have time to go on all of the conspiracy theory things or find all of this or not believe something. Mm-hmm. I don't have time to do that. So I just try and get facts. If they're all reporting on one thing, right? Yeah. If CNN, Fox, they're all reporting on one thing, you follow that. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know where to go. Because I looked at even Fox last night. They have certain people who believe in certain shit. And then once because again, I flip through all of them to try to find little kernels here and there. Because I don't believe any of these fucking assholes on any of these, all of this shit. I don't believe any of these motherfuckers. The anchor, whoever came on after Laura Ingraham last night, she was pretty, down the middle and looking for other things to talk about or whatever. And it was Fox seemed to be switching for a while now. Drudge Report has flipped, gone completely left. You take somebody like Drudge, who's at one point was the third most traffic in the world for a website for years and years and years. For him to just turn left all of a sudden is bullshit because he doesn't believe it.
And what does that mean by left? He's giving you fake stories?
No, he's only reporting Democratic slants on things now, whereas before he was only reporting Republican slants on things.
Well, both are not okay.
Totally. And that's what I'm saying. I don't believe this fucking dude either. He was clearly just doing whatever he thought was best for his company and his thing, but this is a media outlet. On here, he shows you the stories that he wants you to see, and that's kind of it. Mm-hmm. You have to dig for some truths of like, because again, it depends on the anchors too for a lot of these networks of what they personally believe in. Yeah, because again, the David Muir thing, god damn, when that guy hit number one, boy did he change. When they rebranded it America's Anchor once he was number one. Hey everyone. And everything's real steely-eyed and super serious, and I'm your man, and all that shit. I was like, oh, fuck. Christ. It's just a bunch of fucking actors at this point. I don't believe in any of it, and who knows? I get my news from podcasts. That's it. I kind of just tune into people where I'm like, I think that person might be right. Or I think it's hilarious, at least.
Yeah, I actually, if we are going to be honest, I go New York Times and then Ben Shapiro. And I listen to those two. And so in the beginning of the day, you start with the emotional story of what's going on and what this means and weird little slants. And then you get, his conservative lawyer take on things, right? And he does actually know facts, and he doesn't go full Trump, and he doesn't go full anything. He really just breaks down what could possibly happen if these people get elected, if this happens, and he's not hysterical and he's not very emotional. He's a lawyer.
Yeah.
And he's conservative and is not shy about that, but he's also not a super Trump supporter. So, it is what it is, but that's kind of where I go as well. You're right. Podcast, but I have to listen to a couple.
Yeah.
I don't just listen to him, and I don't just listen to another. And I actually don't not believe the news. I think that's a interesting statement to say. I just don't believe them. It's not about not believing them. It's just getting annoyed at the slant. Like, what they're saying is the fact. It's how they're delivering the news to you. But this idea of like, I don't believe them, that I don't understand. You don't believe the stories that they're telling you? Is it fake stories?
It's not fake stories.
It's just a slant that's like...
It is a fake slant on whatever that particular story is to meet their narrative.
Right.
So therefore...
Like, you're not getting the whole video, or you're not getting the whole picture, you're not getting the,
Yeah. As a writer, for years and years and years, like, I know how to write a sentence to go right, left, whatever the narrative fits. Like, as a screenwriter, as an author... Thanks. Shout out to everybody who bought As the Sun Rises, It Dawns on Him. It is fucking destroying right now. But as a writer of this, like, I know inflections on words, what they mean, how you say them, all that stuff. Like, all right, great. If I write it for David Muir, right? I know how he's going to say it. And if I give him these little words here and there, like, because those are just a bunch of fucking idiots reading off a teleprompter. Let's be real. If I took a fucking IQ test against David Muir, I would probably destroy that guy. Like, he's just a fucking idiot, that guy. But the way that it's written and the way that it's said and the stories they choose to present to you, I don't like it. It's not that I don't believe in the news. It's the news that they're reporting, the way they're telling it to you. And I guess it's the delivery of it, too, where you're just like, man, fuck off. And then other stories that they choose not to fucking talk about, where you're just like, hey, man, again, with the violence, all summer long, shit was burning down, fucking, and everything, and nobody condemned it. No one, not them, not the media, no one. They were just like, well, people are angry. That's what it was. People were angry all summer, and that's, this is all just boiling over. Well, guess what? People were angry yesterday, and it all boiled over. So don't be shocked and appalled yesterday.
Two-Legged Cougar, great name.
Big fan of that.
Gave us big money.
Two-Legged Cougs.
Fake news helps me when I ride the short bus. Words are hard for me.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
It is. And like, I think it's for a lot of people like that. Like, you grow up and the news is on in your house for all these years and you're like, well, shit, it must be real. And I'm going to keep that on in the background or watch it or believe in it and everything else. And, it's hard. It's hard to wrap your mind around, I guess, for some people. And some people are just like, fuck it. It is what it is. And I'm just going to roll through my day and whatever happens, happens. But to the podcast thing, It's interesting to look at the ratings sometimes and the rankings to see what people are driven to during a time like this. And I found number one today super fascinating. The Bible. Mm-hmm. The Bible, a year in review. Number one in the world.
Yeah.
A lot of people looking for Jesus after yesterday, apparently.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It was funny after 2016. Mm-hmm. It was Pod Save America and Crooked Media were top 10 for over a year. And
Mm-hmm.
that's far, far left, right?
Right.
They lost, right?
Yeah.
And they were pissed. And
Yeah.
people were going to the thing. So that's kind of the same thing that's happening now. Yeah.
I got a little bit more breaking news. Facebook and Instagram. Instagram has now blocked Trump as well. So, yeah, Twitter's next.
Yeah.
But when he moves, I'm telling you.
I mean, he can sit a couple plays out. Sorry if that pisses anybody off. He can sit a couple of fucking plays out.
I get
We're going
it.
to bench him for a second and put him back in,
Here's
coach,
the problem
in just
with
a
that.
couple days.
He's
But
going to go somewhere, and that is going to create
that's fine.
these echo chambers. No. Both sides are going to stoke fucking violence, and there's going to be more violence. Shit is going to be even more divided and more fucked up.
Not sure how it could be more divided, but
Oh,
we'll see.
buckle up, Javes. We hit peak 2021 6 days into the year.
Right.
We're now on the 7th day of the year, and you don't think it's going to get worse? Come on, dude. It's going to get way worse.
Right.
Imagine if they shut down the country for 6 weeks for the pandemic or whatever.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to get way worse. So, yeah. Are you kidding me? And again, this is breaking news. We're just reading this as it's going on. Yes, Twitter is next. He will move over to Parler, all that other shit. I'll be curious to see what happens to their stocks because it's all based on users and performance. And so they go into the analytics and say, all right, well, how many people have left the platform? How many new subscribers did you gain? All that shit. Twitter was in the toilet before Trump joined. If they ban him and he takes his, 85 million followers or whatever the fuck it is over to somewhere else, forget about it. Remember when Kylie Jenner left WhatsApp? Stock drops.
Snapchat.
Snapchat, or was it Snapchat?
Yeah, she left Snapchat. WhatsApp is actually more of like a communication tool that's used over in the UK a lot. It's
Oh, yeah,
almost
yeah.
like
Well,
replacing
here
their
too.
Messenger
Yeah.
app.
You can text overseas and call overseas or whatever. But yeah, Snapchat. When she left Snapchat, it fell like 30% the stock. Like, congratulations, man. So yeah, it'll be fun to see. And it'll be fun to have a podcast during this period. It really will, because I don't I don't not find the humor in anything, I guess. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll find the humor in all this shit as it goes along. I know you won't.
Why?
Yeah, some things are like, shit, but I don't know. If I'm not laughing about shit every day, I guess, like, that I'm taking shit way too seriously. Unless it's my family or my friends, like, the next big thing I'm looking forward to is the Ohio State game. That's it.
Yeah,
Just
but
the
that's
national
my
championship.
Yeah, that's my whole vibe though.
Yeah, well, okay.
I take care of my house and my kids.
Yeah.
Everything that's happening is on the computer or the TV, and when I shut it down, none of that is around me.
Yeah.
As stupid as that sounds, or whatever, you can say whatever you want, Ross, about me. But sometimes you have to take a fucking break and actually look around, get your head out of the computer, get your head out, turn off the TV and go, okay, what is actually happening here?
Yeah.
What is actually happening in my house, with my money, with my kids, with my job?
Yeah.
What is actually happening?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, I 100% agree. And
so that's what I have to do sometimes.
Yeah, and I feel like, as sad as it is to say, I think that's where we are all headed as Americans, where it's like you're going to start caring less about other people and other shit.
That's what I mean. It's my world got very small, and it's sad. It's sad because you used to, or for a second, or part of my life, thought of the country as a whole, right? We're all together. We're all Americans.
Yeah.
We're in this together. We kind of all want the same thing. And as this goes on, your world gets smaller and smaller, and you realize that the only thing that you can worry about and make nice and make good is your family, your corner of the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's sad to think that, right? Because you want to be like, how's my neighbor doing? Are they okay? What can I do? Right?
Oh, well, I care about my neighbors. Again, I care about my family and friends and things like that. But like,
but yeah.
The rest of it, it's like head down, do what you do, and all that other shit. And then I think about why I'm driven to this point in my life. It's the media and everything that goes on around me. Like when you're reading things or hearing things or things are blocked, I really don't have freedom of speech. Like certain platforms, I guess, but not all the way around. And yes, I could go out on a fucking soapbox in the middle of the street in downtown and scream shit, but you don't really have freedom of speech anymore. More and more rights are going to get taken away. I think that's I genuinely think that based on what has happened and everything else. And yeah, man, I don't know. We're going to be here every day till they fucking pull the plug on us. So we'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That's when I'll get pissed.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, even the YouTube thing, we joke and bitch about the shadow ban thing all the time. There was one time where we did some advertising before like some other shows and when we were just getting started to try to get the YouTube channel going and do all the things. I got rejected for this show, and I don't know if you remember it. And I had a call, and I was like, hey, man, I'm paying for ads. There's no like curse words or anything in the trailers and everything else. And they were like, yeah, sir, we hate to tell you this, but one of the words in your show goes against our guidelines and policies.
What?
I was like, Ross? I was like, oh, shit.
Oh.
I was like, do you not, is the word revolution? Doesn't mean that. I'm not telling you to go out and burn down shit or do anything else. Like, truthfully, I was a big fan of Prince when we started the show, and he died. Like,
it's funny, like my Apple Watch, when I get a little bit, like my blood pressure goes up, I'll get an alert that's like breathe, and it does this like breathing thing. So I just got like 2 alerts.
That's awesome. Breathe, Japes. Breathe.
Just breathe.
But yeah, like
it tells you to like want to do a minute of breathing. I'm like, oh, I must be like, I don't know.
But now that like computers and algorithms and someone else is controlling all of this shit, and we're starting to get down to words, keywords that you can't use. During the election, we couldn't use the word vote. I think there was, I'd worked on it with Giorgio. I think it was 18 different words that we couldn't use, or else an article would pop up. Well, the AP press is called the election. Or if we use COVID in something or talked about COVID or whatever, well, the CDC says this is, you should be wearing your mask and everything, blah, blah. There's warning labels on everything. They're just deleting shit and then sending you things. I mean, that post that I had deleted on Facebook about, me voting that day of like, hey man, I voted because every actor and musician and athlete told me to go out and vote today. That's the only reason I vote. Nothing crazy in that statement or whatever. Pulled it down. And then when they were like, hey, would you like to appeal? Sorry, our employees are out with COVID right now. You can appeal to a certain post later on at a better time. What better time is that? And even the COVID thing, to a certain extent, feels like a control thing where it's like, hey, man, we want to control you and your life. We're going to tell you other things and how to live your life, but we're not going to actually do them. Like Cabo Steve here in Austin, that fucking dick, the mayor of Austin, Cabo Steve. Hey, guys, stay at home. Don't go anywhere. Where's this message coming from? Well, I was on a private jet going to Cabo for my daughter's wedding, which was like more than 9 people or whatever it was. You weren't even supposed to have a public gathering. So it's all shit. We'll be here with you every day, trying to figure it out and at least laugh about it. I don't know that many people are laughing about it today, but I got to get a little chuckle out of it today. So it is what it is. We will attempt to bring you some humor for whatever happens through all of this shit. Very few times in the history of the show were we really serious, maybe a couple, 2 or 3, but I'm able to look at this from an outside perspective and say, all right, this has been stoking for 4.5 years. It is what it is. And yeah, fuck. But get ready for the rest of this. The Thunderdome is coming down on everybody pretty soon here. So there will be some massive, massive stories over the next month.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine what's going to happen. to be honest with you. But
Well, you guys are going to be talking about it on fake news today, correct?
yeah. Look, tune in this afternoon. Probably about, an hour, Giorgio?
But
Yeah.
probably, I'm just sad that, Jeb says fake news like she didn't used to be a part of it.
I know. You
I'm
should
a
be
mom.
back. Yeah.
I'm a mom.
Super mom.
Super mom.
mom.
You can't mess that job up.
And you look beautiful today,
Oh,
James.
thank you. I look shiny, guys. Is it me?
Who cares? Weird day, I had a little static in the headphones.
Oh, that
Who
forehead
knows?
is beaming. Beaming. So anyways, that's been my problem during this show. But anyways, what were you saying?
All I
just
know
going-
is this. I get to wake up to my beautiful wife and children every single morning and then come in the studio, have a nice chuckle and a laugh with the Nooners and some friends. And, I'm going to try and enjoy my life every day. That's about it.
Yeah.
But if you're hoping for the world to get better after this, probably
Don't
find
end
something
on
else.
don't end on that note, please. I mean, Lord in heaven.
Don't do it.
Lord in heaven. Let's end on that.
But
Lord
tune into Drinking Bros Fake News. As always, please go to iTunes and rate this show a 5-star and leave a review. It is not how many people actually listen to the show. It is simply the reviews on iTunes and all of that other stuff. They probably want your info, and let's face it, everybody else has it anyways. Get expressvpn.com/Nooners if you want to get rid of it. But
The Zen of
so just go and
acceptance.
do it, even if you're worried about the overlords trying to find you. They've already found you, brother. They found all of us. We found the guy with the horns in less than 4 minutes.
I know.
Giorgio
my
did.
Lord. Giorgio.
I don't even know
good
how many
job,
drugs
buddy.
he was on last night.
Good job.
Neither does Giorgio.
Neither does Giorgio. We love you, everybody.
Love ya.
For Jesse Wiseman, a.k.a. the Jables, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the, oh, shit. Am I allowed to say revolution anymore? Are they going to flag that?
This is the
I'll say it as Hilaria Baldwin.
yeah.
The revolution.
Adios.
Buenos noches.